It's a beautiful morning. The rascals would shoot me, but if Reggie sang, it'd be great because it is a beautiful morning. And I want to show you what May in the garden looks like for me on gardening on the West Fork, Zone 6, West Virginia. And it's the first week of May. And it's full of anticipation.
Gosh.
I know Carly would kill me too. But anyhow, you can see there's plants getting hardened off. The geese are, I'm just so excited. You can hear the geese on the river. But what I want to show you, to me, the best part about May in the garden is it is the anticipation. It's the pre-emergence of everything. It's like the buds on these.
Well, you're just walking too fast there,
I'm
girl.
sorry.
Slow down.
But you know, they to me, our gardens do not have to be in bloom to be beautiful. And if you're a beginner gardener, it's not about the blooms, it's about the plants and how they give you so much pleasure. And to me, they're like little packages, the buds on everything waiting to be unwrapped. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's how I feel about it. It's all anticipation of how it's going to look, whether it's the bud on, this is Carnaby, the clematis, and all of my peonies. Some of these are 25 years old. Some of my plants are a year old, 3 years old, and it's always fun to see how they develop because it's all new. And the winter sown seedlings
Yeah,
of the
what's going on back
liatris.
there?
Oh, back here are like all of my, I've only been growing seeds for 3 years. And this year I was challenged by Laura Garden Answer. She did her first annual geraniums, and I did too. And these are, if they turn out to the color I want, which is the salmon, look how many I have. And these have been growing in downstairs under lights for since January 30th. And from what I understand, after 91 days, you'll start getting your buds and blooms, and it's there. And then I have my zinnias and my caladiums that I started that I thought I killed, tomato plants. It's just
And,
it's
and then this little
anticipation.
bucket.
Yeah, this is the liatris that Lane Rush gave me, and they need to get planted out very soon. They did great, winter sown. I wish I could do everything by winter sowing, but I didn't. These are black-eyed Susans. I've got my vines, my little morning glory vines. But let's just take a look. Look at this. It's a beautiful morning, and there's not a bloom really, but there's so much to see with just the different shades of green. This tree, which is magnificent, that you, I, a Japanese maple. I love to see the trunk, and this one you can't see the trunk. And last year I came in and pruned it out so you could see the trunk. I looked at it in the spring, and there weren't any branches that need to be trimmed, but look how thick it is. So I've got to get in here in the next few weeks and make it the way I like it, which I like to see the trunk of the tree. It gives it a better presence. Otherwise, it just looks like it's a head full of maybe a beetle hair. Except bread. I don't think any of the
Don't
beetles.
start singing.
I won't sing. But just this, when I walk through here now, you can step on the mint. And gardens are all about not only the color, but the smells. And I love that I have some mint growing in these rocks, because I come down here, and whether it's to make a cup of tea or an adult cocktail, which the other night was delicious when I made my Moscow Mule, and Sharon brought some of that limoncello that she had traveled across the ocean and brought it back with her. That really added to the drink, and the mint was wonderful in it. But everything is doing so well. Like my new plants, that was that beautiful blue Albicua drinking gourd hosta. It had to be covered 3 and 4 times. But I'm not talking about every plant. I'm just showing you how pretty things are when they're just emerging, just alive before they get hot with summer. I I I I just can't wait to see. I can wait to see things bloom. And I noticed this morning, and we'll get there, that there is one iris that's blooming, and there's a lot of sticks by these irises because I thought we are going to get snow last week, and now it's sunny. I just love it. I I I don't know what else to say except we have to look and see what's out here. This is going to be fourth year for this is a Shirley Temple peony, and look at how heavy weighted it is with buds. And it's 3 years old. The first 2 years I might have had one or two. Whether I've mentioned we're in West Virginia Zone 6, and our winter was very, very mild, and so hasn't our spring been. And I don't know if it's
And we just
because
had
of
like
that.
5 days of rain.
Yeah, and then we had 3 weeks of drought. But I think it's about the age, being patient to see your plants go from a year plant to a 3-year-old plant. And I said at this age, I won't buy anything and have to wait on it because, it's just the way it is. But the hostas haven't been frozen back, and so they look so nice. I love how these ostrich ferns are on the riverbank. And my sister needs a couple of these, but I think they're the prettiest right now when they're in that vase shape and just emerging. They're the show along this riverbank. And you probably heard the geese go by. I can't speak enough about how I love the anticipation of the foxgloves coming. You can see everything just shaking. And Reg, remember the one plant we had? It was the evening primrose. The children were small.
They loved it.
And the neighborhood kids would come by. The evening primrose, if you don't have it, ours died out. I should get more of that. But at dusk, that plant would actually shake a little bit.
And
and all of a sudden, all the blooms, these pretty yellow flowers, would pop open. And it was amazing as an adult, but for the children, they thought, wow, this is so cool. And it stayed bloom all night, and in the morning it would close up. But they would run back, in the summer just to see that plant shake. And that's how I feel. And that's what I think the plants are doing. They're like, look at us, we're showing up. I noticed the columbine have all started to open up, and they just self-sow. I don't plant these. I may have had 1 or 2 plants. And that's the best part about gardening in the same spot we've been here for 30 years. And a lot of these gardens now are definitely over 20 years old. And it shows up. The hostas have had a chance to not get killed back. And that makes a difference when you look at a shade border, because that's the perennial that gets sun. But the shade border has really thrived this spring without being frosted back. All the shades of green and white. Again, you don't need blooms. You just need a little texture and color. I can see the buds on the climbing roses. It's just a miracle. You can, of course, you can see more gardening fun things to do, like trimming back your boxwoods. And I still have things to plant. I've got my perennial pots that I like in the garden to dig out yet and put back in, and I'll show you how to do that. It just adds so much. I don't know, you can see the alliums I just noticed. I guess, yeah, the alliums over there. Again, they're going to open up and just keep getting a little bigger.
For some reason, that's one of my favorites.
The alliums?
Yeah.
I'll plant more. I'll find more and plant more.
They're easy to draw, too.
They're easy to draw.
Yeah, if you're an artist.
Well, look how beautiful they are.
Yeah.
And the bees love them. And it's growing. And our weather has finally passed. There's not a frost through the end of May, it looks like, or at least the 20th this morning when I looked. And it's going to be in the 70s and 80s. And anyhow, that's May in the garden. It is beautiful without having to be in bloom. And for a new gardener or people who are just joining me, just stay with the channel and you'll see it come into bloom. And there's just so much more to do and see and get out today and walk through and give thanks.
Do you want to finish with a song?
I think we should. What would you choose?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. Reggie What people don't know is my husband has a gorgeous voice. I love to sing and will, but I'm not going to do that for you because it's just, it'd be too much to handle this early in the morning. So anyhow, thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork, Zone 6, and we'll see you in the next one. Just hit that bell and you won't miss out. It could be a song. Bye, guys.